Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Bryan Tan here with another edition of Tan Talks. Joining me for this interesting romp in the Star Wars universe, Book of Boba Fett, as always, is Katie Salidas. Katie, it's been an interesting trip, and
we got to talk about this.
Yeah.
All right, so where do we start? We start off with them at the burned out cantina. What they did made no sense.
Yeah, why would you split your forces if you know that you're outmanned? Boba thought that the other families of
he was
Tatooine,
stupid to think that. He should have totally never thought that.
There is no honor among thieves at all. But he figured they will be smart and they'll stay out of it and blah, blah, blah. So he foolishly splits up his crew.
They were being smart. They were trying to back the bigger force.
And even Mando
had
said
nobody.
It. Even Mando said it. Mando was like, yeah, that was a smart play. And Boba's like, yeah, it was. I handled this horribly.
And then he sends his team all over town. His, 6, 7 people that he's got? He spreads them out all over town instead of getting everybody together.
Instead of consolidating power.
Are you stupid? Know what? I want to like it. I don't want to have negative things to say. Seriously.
I really don't either. But yeah, this was not a good idea. And those Gamorreans, they got the way worse end of it. Well, here's the thing. I knew they weren't going to make it to the very, very end. I knew they were going to die.
Yeah, they were expendable.
Gamorreans, all they are humanoid pig people that are cannon fodder. And that's literally all these guys were.
Yeah.
Because Chrysanthus was in just as bad of a pickle, if not worse. He battled.
This is a pet peeve of mine. The continuity between his scenes was ridiculous.
Yeah.
One minute he's barely able to walk, he's limping. The next scene, he's standing up, shooting like there's no problems. Again, he gets back to being hit. They couldn't maintain continuity with his injuries the entire time he was fighting. Now, the Knuckles.
Yeah,
when he was going after that
droid,
point. That was beautiful. He liked that.
He was on point. But here's the thing. They were setting him up to be this badass, irresistible force. And he was, but he was not a game changer.
No.
He was just a brute.
So the next point.
All right.
You see the X-Wing flying in, and there was that hope. I was like, oh, Luke's going to do the right thing.
No.
And then they show you that he let R2 fly Baby Yoda.
He threw Grogu in the pilot seat and just told R2 to fly him back. Seriously? So you show up to pick the kid up. He makes the choice you don't like, so R2 has to drive him back. And then R2 leaves him with someone he doesn't even know.
Yep.
Really? R2 doesn't know that this woman, she vouches.
He doesn't know that.
Yeah, he doesn't know that. She could have been lying. Yo, Luke is a dick. Luke is a straight up asshole.
So we get the two Mandos. We get Boba Fett, and we get Din holed up by themselves like idiots.
Yeah.
Fennec's gone off to do we don't know what. She disappears for half the show. We know where she goes. We do know where she goes.
Yeah, we know where she goes. She leaves to go and fix his screw up.
Yet another person from his team leaving the battle.
Right. Cad Bane decides that he wants to play some mind games with Boba because he's known Boba since he was a kid. He trained Boba. So I get why he wanted to play mind games with him. And it almost worked because basically the head of the syndicate basically admitted, we killed the Tuskens.
Not
we let
a
him think.
Twist, though.
It really wasn't. We already knew that.
They were already in league because the biker gang was charging the Pikes for protection. So anything that pissed off the biker gang kind of connected to the Pikes anyways. So which one did it? Who cares? It doesn't matter. You're both bad guys.
Right. So Cad Bane decides to spill the beans to Boba Fett, and it almost worked. If Fennec Shan wasn't there, Cad Bane's plan would have worked. Sure. Because Cad Bane wanted Boba to get so mad that he screwed up. So
I love the body language. Remember we talked about this before. With the helmet on, the body language works. It actually makes him seem tougher. It makes him seem like more of a badass. And we needed those scenes. We needed those scenes of him using just those small motions to convey so much just emotion and threats.
Right. And Fennec Shan is the MVP because she stopped Boba Fett from being a moron. Cad Bane, like I said, I appreciate what he was trying to do. Because if Fennec Shen isn't there, his plan works.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why Cad Bane is such a dangerous character, is because he gets to know his enemies. That's why he was so good at taking out Jedi.
I honestly wish that could have been the end for Cad Bane in this series, because then they could have utilized him elsewhere.
Right.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Right.
Because he walks away. What are we left with? Fennec goes off. That's a mistake. Mm-hmm. You could have dealt with them at the end. They needed their people right then and there, because that's when the battle was starting. They showed you all across town. Every one of Boba's forces that was sent out was now ambushed.
Right.
It was the stupidest scene. It was an obvious betrayal, and it's a waste of his resources, leaving him and Din with their little honor talk, which was just more comedy than anything else.
Yeah, and we didn't need it. This episode felt like they tried to shoehorn a lot.
They did. And I don't think they don't trust their audience, and they didn't give us enough episodes. They rushed it, and they didn't trust us to be able to appreciate what they were setting up. If you're trying to create a series about a guy rising to be the crime boss of a city, you need to show him rising to become the crime boss of the city, not the other people that are going to be around him for the battle. You need to build it up and show what he's doing, why he's doing it. And I agreed with them staying back at the burnt out cantina, because he did need to show he was fighting for his people.
Right.
But you don't do that by dispersing your meager forces and leaving you basically trapped with no way out. You do it by cultivating your forces, using your strategy, making sure that people are set up around you so that you can have coverage on your location. And they hung everything on that little town.
On Freetown, which is like a couple of buildings in the middle of the freaking desert.
Yeah. Why weren't they trying to get the people of Mos Espa on their side?
Right.
What the hell is this? Let's rely on a town that's out in the middle of nowhere, and we don't know if they're actually coming, so that we can have the surprise, the cavalry's here scene, which, again, it's like they just threw whatever they could together.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't.
Okay, and then this is my biggest pet peeve. And I know they teased it in the beginning, he's going to ride the Rancor, but that made no sense.
Yeah, it was once again out of nowhere.
His fire spray would have done so much better at going after those droids than bringing in a city-destroying Rancor. Yes, it was cool. It was an action set piece. It made no logistical sense.
No, it did not. Now, if you're having this fight in an open space, that would make more sense.
If he's protecting the city, he can't destroy the city.
You just Incredible Hulk to your entire city.
Yeah.
Your city was essentially intact except for blaster bolt holes. Now you've knocked down buildings because you got to show off your Rancor.
They did it because they wanted the ooh, ah, and everybody to go, he's doing it, he's riding the Rancor. But you never set up that learning how to ride the Rancor.
Right.
Again,
how the hell do you know how to ride a Rancor in no time flat?
Because he said it 3 episodes ago. He said it, so now that's it. Now we know. But you didn't spend time developing it.
I enjoyed what I saw. The set pieces were fun. The action sets were great. I mean, even seeing Mando trying to wield the Darksaber and Grogu's eyes going wide, it was cool.
Yeah.
But so much of this stuff just did not work. All right, so the Freetown shows up and they're backing off. And then, of course, Grogu comes on the scene, and it was so cute.
Oh, that was adorable.
Mando! Glad I found you. You didn't hear the fighting going on?
Of course not. That's her character. I love her.
What I really love, though, is that he's like, get out, turn around. What? I can't hear you. It's like, yeah, obviously you deaf as all hell. Amy Sedaris is, she plays Pelimoto, and she's so fun. She's such a fun character. And I think the reason why that works is because Amy Sedaris herself is just this cute, fun woman. Amy Sedaris just looks like she's going to smile at you and talk about you and then punch you in the face.
And of course, Mando catches Grogu
and lands with
heartwarming moment. Oh,
he's like, the shirt. You got the shirt. I'm sorry. You want to talk about the most cutest badass moment? It all happened in one scene. Grogu staring down the Rancor and putting him to sleep.
Yeah.
And then curling up right next to him.
But before that, when he's using the force against the droid, and he pulls off the knee joint and goes flying.
He is going to be so badass when he gets stronger he's so strong in the force now.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine how much more powerful, because the thing is, he's going to keep practicing. He learned a lot from Luke to get stronger on his own.
Well, Luke made him remember, he's about 50 years old.
Right. So
and
he's
he was living with the
relearning
Jedis up until Order 66. So he had training. A lot of it was traumatized, blocked out.
Right. So now he remembers the training, which means he's only going to get more powerful.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now we get to the scene that I'm really not happy about.
Okay.
And I think they did not need this at all.
What made the angry Katie action figure?
So Cad Bane could have walked out when he did.
Yeah.
He is a paid assassin. He's a bounty hunter. He's not loyal to anyone.
Why are you getting that involved?
His benefactors are dying. Peace out, homies. I'm not getting my money. I'm not fighting for you. But no,
dip the hell out. No,
he's got to come out,
gloat,
talk some shit, and get into a fight with Boba for no reason, only to die like a little bitch. Like they wasted him. Because he is supposed to be a badass. So you keep that badass by showing him doing what a badass would do. You don't have him come pick a fight. He's not going to win.
Cad Bane does not stick around to gloat like that. When he sees the battle is lost, he rolls.
He's in it for the money. That's it. And when his people who can't pay him, he got no reason to stick around.
And then, of course, I guarantee you, they're probably going to find a way to bring him back. And
I saw that they had the little lights flashing on his suit. So his ship's probably going to come down and he's probably going to be fine. Just like with the sheriff. They made us think the sheriff was dead only to put him in the
no, he's in so he gets to go into the Bacta tank before Chrysanthemum. Okay.
Yeah.
Even though you owe him a nice long soak in the Bacta tank. Okay.
Dude got shot in the shoulder.
Yeah,
seriously.
He gets shot in the shoulder. There's no way he should be needing it that bad. But okay.
Watch the movie or watch the show again and pause it. He got shot in the shoulder.
Yeah. And it wasn't even close enough to the heart for it to be a serious wound.
And these are blasters, so the wound cauterizes.
Right.
Like I said, they do not trust their fans.
They don't trust the fans. And honestly, I'm disappointed in Jon Favreau. I'm very disappointed. Jon Favreau has let me down with this.
There's no need for a season 2. They can go ahead and continue with the Mandalorian season 3. We'll happily follow Din and see where he's going. Hopefully he's going back to the Mandalorian homeworld and we get to see that side of things.
Now, last week you were saying that, there's going to be big payoffs and we have to trust the process. We've trusted the process. Do you feel that our trust was rewarded? Do you feel that we were insulted? Or do you think it's just this show was a train wreck?
Little insulted.
Now, that doesn't mean to say that there weren't some spots that I was enjoying. I enjoyed some aspects of it.
Yeah.
But I felt kind of insulted too. There don't need to be a season 2 of Book of Boba Fett. No. If this is what we're going to get, no. Stick to The Mandalorian, the cast of Book of Boba Fett, the primary cast of Book of Boba Fett. Just let them join the Mandalorian cast.
Yeah.
And then
when they need to go back to Tatooine, there you go.
As we sort of put a bow on this, the way the Book of Boba Fett has been, it's disappointing because it had so much potential. It was squandered. It was completely squandered.
Mm-hmm.
So here's hoping that the Obi-Wan Kenobi series isn't yet another giant disappointment. But we'll be doing that, and we'll be doing that week to week.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm trusting the process. I have a feeling that even though this was a disappointment, we do have true fans running behind the scenes, working everything in and trying to make sure that all of these new projects that are coming out are going to push us forward in a good way. So I'm going to trust the process. He's my favorite character. Don't screw it up. Because if they do, they might just lose me completely.
Thanks so much for joining us in this Book of Boba Fett commentary. With that being said, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and make sure you click the bell icon to get notified for all of our Plotaholic content. Make sure you check back next week. I'm going to have Squirrely Matt from the Produce Stand podcast, where we're going to be talking Peacemaker Season 1. Much, much, much better. Much better. Much more enjoyable than Book of Boba Fett has been. But I've already said too much. See ya.